The University of Central Arkansas starts their season this year on the road to the University of Missouri. Now, are they the underdogs? Absolutely. But if you think that an FCS team can't beat a team in the SEC, I'll kindly point you to East Tennessee State versus Vanderbilt. That game wasn't even close. It is possible. And you'd better believe that Central Arkansas thinks on August 28th, they've got an opportunity to do what many deem to be impossible. Is it probable? No, it's not. But it is possible. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't show you how. So I've spent this entire offseason racking my brain, putting it together, studying the scheme. If the Central Arkansas Bears were going to beat the University of Missouri, this is how they do it. I'm Tyson Ellison, lead insider for the Tiger Kickoff Show, and this is Sideline Study Hall Stretched. As we'll likely bring up on the Week 1 episode of the Tiger Kickoff Show, there's so many unknowns about this Central Arkansas offense that make it really hard to study. The most experienced quarterback on their roster has 12 career completions. And this is the first year that head coach Nathan Brown is going to be calling the plays for the offense after their offensive coordinator left this offseason. I watched a couple of games last year early in their season to try and study the offense. Here's what I found. To make sure what I was studying would transfer, I watched their 2 away games early in the season against cat teams. Assuming the offensive philosophy remains the same, the best weapon for this team is right in between the tackles running the ball. They've got 2 all-conference offensive line returning, which make inside zone plays look like this against most teams. Now keep in mind, I did say most teams. That's not against the SEC, but against the competition they play regularly, this team can create explosive plays in between the 2 tackles. The offensive linemen can climb to the next level. And those 2 preseason all-conference nominees, they wreak havoc on the GT counter plays. Their guy ends up on the ground more often than not.
So McElvain comes back in at quarterback. He'll hand off to Powell again, who busts through the line, still on his feet on the second level. Laid a big hit there.
Because the run game demands a lot of attention, they're able to draw players upfield, which leaves plays open, like shovel passes and draw plays. For example, here's the first play from scrimmage against University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
So here's the Bears offense for the first time, led by a starting quarterback, McElvain. And here's the first play, and it's going to be the star running back. Makes a move. He's into the secondary, and look at him scoot. Across the 30 to the 20, the 10, and the 5, and he scores from the first play from scrimmage. My goodness.
Last year they had a thunder and lightning duo, but you could argue the run game gets even more dynamic with Landen Chambers in the backfield. I want you to watch this one play of Landen Chambers film with me, and you tell me what you see.
First, the Golden Lions can have a decent team. Chambers fights his way forward. Still on his feet. And again, you said it, BC, there is no quit in this UCA team.
I see a guy that's really hard to tackle. And Coach Brown said after this, he had the best spring ball out of anybody on the entire team. The first guy's not going to make the tackle. So if he can escape to the secondary like running backs of years past, he has explosive potential. The only problem is, week 1 he's running straight into a hydraulic press. Tristan Newsom is a seasoned leader at linebacker, and just like this play, he can diagnose the pullers, react faster than your offensive line, and make first contact on the runner behind the line of scrimmage. Then Death Row does the rest. Then you factor in that they have weapons like Damon Wilson, guys who can do this to your quarterback.
Watch out!
And with no experienced quarterbacks on the roster, this is not a new QB-friendly game. The environment at Faurot Field is unlike anything they've ever seen. That immediately causes communication problems. That's why if you're UCA, you're watching these next few clips with hope. You've got Malachi Henry, the ridiculous returning redshirt sophomore who's also preseason all-conference in the UAC. He's your best choice at receiver for this game because he's got the ability to turn a short perimeter pass into a momentum shift. Just like he did on his first college touchdown with his uncle on play-by-play.
Touchdown UCA, and that is my nephew there. That's his first touchdown of his collegiate career.
In Mizzou's last regular season game against Arkansas, they showed a lot of off coverage and a lot of drop zones. Now, mind you, that's because there was snow on the ground. It's hard to backpedal in the snow. But they did leave a lot of room for receivers. Now, the Mizzou DBs feel confident doing that because their defensive line is going to stress your quarterback into a quick throw. And they've got pieces like Dalen Carnell waiting to tackle the short throw, just like on this 3rd and long. Let's face it, despite all the accolades of the returning offensive line for UCA, they're not going to have a lot of time to throw the ball in this game. Let's be real. That defensive line is going to create pressure, which means you've got to find your guy to get the ball to, and fast. You've got a new starting quarterback, but not like new to starting, like new to throwing the football in a game, whoever you pick. Your best bets are as follows. You can bet on the D-line getting upfield and call your screens and your draws and your shovel passes. Or, come here, you could go to the dark side. It's week 1 of the season. Mizzou's defense is going to be in front of their home crowd, so itching to just make a play. All you have to do is feed into that and use it against them. I introduce you to the hard count. If you can draw Mizzou off sides, you can take your chances with 50-50 shots deep, or at least save yourself from the mistake like this interception. Then, while you have them reeling off the penalty, you can call a trick play, just like they did to the Landen Lions last year. Those seem like the safest options because your strength is running in between the tackles, running inside zones, but you're running into the buzzsaw that is the front 7 of the Mizzou defense. That's a strong group. You'll need to break tackles, stress team defense, and use a few tricks up your sleeve to be able to win this game. As a defense, if you're doing opponent scout on Mizzou football, you might as well just turn on college football 24/7 and watch every team play this year. There's so many different teams, so many different offenses that you have to watch to be able to capture every player that they brought in this year. This is a team that has 38 new scholarship players just this year. The coaching staff is relatively unchanged, so we're going to look through the scheme that they run, and I'll show you how each player fits into that scheme. This is an outside zone first offense that's going to test the eye discipline of your LBs and defensive backs every play. Someone's almost always in motion, so you have to adjust your coverage assignments pre-snap. They brought in Kevin Coleman, who's used to constantly moving. Think about it. Jackson State, Louisville, Mississippi State, Mizzou. That's a lot of motion, and he's going to do that every play on the field too. If you don't communicate, either nobody covers him or 2 people do, and then Brett Norfleet hides as a blocker before slipping out. This is a code red for UCA. You cannot allow this to happen because your silver bullet is that Bo Pribula is also inexperienced. At the time of recording, we don't know who the starting quarterback is, but you know what you have with Sam Horn at Mizzou. If you're watching Bo Pribula film, his largest snap count was against Wisconsin and showed he's a great runner and he's able to improvise. You'll often see with young quarterbacks that the tight end is your safety valve and best friend. Central Arkansas has to eliminate that option to win. You have to know with a young quarterback, Mizzou's going to lean on their dominant run game. A counter to the outside zone takes away a significant portion of the offense. Now there's 2 ways that UCA can do this that they've shown on film. The first is to penetrate the interior offensive line with great get-off by a defensive tackle. Defensive tackle Bradley Clark has shown that he's able to do this in flashes, and they're going to need that from him because Mizzou has shown this is a way to defeat their bread and butter. The second counter is the bear front, which is when you have 5 players at the line of scrimmage, often 3 defensive tackles and 2 overhangs. By occupying that first outside zone blocker off his bucket step, you're forcing the ball to cut back inside, making it easier for the rest of the defense to rally. It also creates better one-on-one pass rush matchups, which obviously are easier to beat than a double team. We also saw last year from UCA that the bear front leaves them susceptible to a lot of deep passes. And keep in mind, they're playing against NWO, the nasty wideouts from Mizzou. This is not Lindenwood. So does UCA have the personnel to match up? They're going to have to hope so if they want to win this game. They're also going to have to hope that they can contain Ahmad Hardy, which is so much easier said than done. He's got a master's degree in contact balance, and he's already got a PhD in the outside zone in his first year. So is it likely that UCA wins this game? No. Is it possible? Well, any given Saturday, anything's possible. That's what they say, right? Well, this game's on Thursday. That's what I'll leave you with. If you want to see more Mizzou football analysis, make sure you go check out the Tiger Kickoff Show. The first episode's coming out soon. We'll see you there.